If you want to discuss some of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, the name of Muhammad Ali is going to come up. But he's not the only one who's claimed they were the greatest. Hey, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. I'm not the greatest at anything, but this is a great spot for a cup of coffee and some conversation about great stuff. You know, my goal? It's to introduce people to the Jesus that they never knew, and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and also share it with a friend. Well, Cassius Clay released his I Am the Greatest album in August 1963. Then just 6 months later, he beat Sonny Liston for the first time and became boxing's heavyweight champion of the world. He apparently had it all. Then he abandoned his Christian faith, in which he'd been raised. He converted to Islam. He changed his name to Muhammad Ali, and he lost everything. Forever. When you abandon Jesus, you always do. When you lose sight of Jesus and who he truly is, you begin to see yourself as more important. Yep. Hey, it's been happening since the disciples walked the earth with him, and it continues to this day. In Matthew's gospel, we read about a time the disciples came to Jesus and asked him, "Who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" Now, Luke shed some additional light in his gospel. This question was brought to Jesus because an argument had started among the disciples as to which one of them would be the greatest. I mean, can you imagine? First one apostle putting forth his claim to being the greatest among them, and then another, this is why I'm greatest, and then another, putting one another down, exalting themselves. It's the ultimate, my faith is better than yours competition. The holier than thou Olympics. Gets so bad they finally go and ask Jesus to settle the dispute. Lord, which one of us is the greatest? Wow. Hey, in 1999, Kenny Rogers, musician, he released The Greatest. It was a song about a boy who took a bat and a ball out to a field, determined to demonstrate he was the greatest hitter. Pushed on by imaginary cheers from the crowd, he swings again and again at the ball, missing it every time. When he gets called home for dinner and the lad announces to his mom, he's an amazing pitcher. Yeah, we can laugh at the song, smile at the child, but pride does that in us too. Our pride lets us hear imaginary crowds cheering us on, amazing imaginary accomplishments, as we deceive ourselves. And we gather people around us who will tell us how great we are. And then, of course, we argue with others that we're greater than they could ever be. Our faith is stronger. Our wisdom is wiser. Our understanding is deeper, and on and on and on. We see all of our accomplishments as the best. Where it's like shooting arrows at random and then drawing bullseyes around them wherever they land. The disciples were so impressed with how spiritual they were, they even went to Jesus to get his ruling on which one of them was the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. How blind they were. They were speaking with the only one who could be counted as the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, and they didn't see it. They had forgotten about Jesus. And all too often, neither do we. We don't see it. We forget about Jesus too. The one, the only one, who can truly say, I am the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, didn't say it. What he did say was our verse for today. I didn't come to be served. I came to serve and to give my life as a ransom for many. And so he did. At the table of the Last Supper, when no one wanted to take the lowest role and wash the feet of those who had come and assembled, Jesus did it. When it was time to leave the grandeur of heaven and take on human flesh, Jesus did it. And when it was time for the price of sin to be paid, Jesus did it. He truly is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And then he calls us to be servants of one another, to humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God, not to think more highly of ourselves than we ought, but to take the towel, be the lowest servant. He alone is worthy, and we're just servants, all of us. So let's serve him well. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time, he can exalt you. He is the greatest, and he came to serve. Wow, that's all the time we've got. But before you go, can I please ask you, help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew? This Jesus who came to serve, and help them get to know him and his word personally and better. Please like this video. It really, truly does help more people see it. Then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every day. If you'd like to get a free copy of my book, Count to One, God's Plan for Christian Unity, just click the link in the description and I'll get you one downloaded to your inbox right away. Hey, one more thing before you go. Would you make sure you share this video today with a friend? Because as you do, you are part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thank you for helping.